Jesus and his disciples set out for the villages of Caesarea Philippi. Along the way, he asked his disciples, "Who do people say that I am?" They said in reply, "John the Baptist, others Elijah, still others one of the prophets." And he asked them, "But who do you say that I am?" Peter said to him in reply, "You are the Christ." Then he warned them not to tell anyone about him. He began to teach them that the Son of Man must suffer greatly and be rejected by the elders, the chief priests, and the scribes, and be killed, and rise after 3 days. He spoke this openly. Then Peter took him aside and began to rebuke him. At this he turned around and, looking at his disciples, rebuked Peter and said, "Get behind me, Satan. You are thinking not as God does, but as human beings do." He summoned the crowd with his disciples and said to them, "Whoever wishes to come after me must deny himself, take up his cross, and follow me. For whoever wishes to save his life will lose it, but whoever loses his life for my sake and that of the gospel will save it." Thus far the Gospel of Mark. There's a lot of powerful directions to go in for the preacher here, and this is one of those kinds of Gospels where you have more things you can say than you have time to say them in. I do like that this is one of those instances where you can compare to today's technological social media age, because the same thing is at work in the people saying who he is. Who do people say that I am? What's going on out there in the blogosphere? We would say, what's Twitter saying about Jesus? He's getting that kind of a thing. What are the rumors? What are you hearing? And they're replying, and it's easy to reply. This is what we heard somebody say about you. This is what somebody over there said about you. But then when he turns and looks at them and says, "Who do you say that I am?" It's good for all of us to stop, because this can be, we talk about encounters with Jesus. If people take this passage and that question to prayer, and I would recommend people to do it, take that question to prayer. Think about the fact that you only have one life and you only have so many years to live in your life. Given who you are, given your past history, given where you are right now, given your hopes for the future, given the fact that you know that one day you will die, who do you say that Jesus is? Who is he to you? Now, here's the catch. Peter didn't say, "I heard" or "I think." Peter could only answer that question, "You are the Christ." He could only answer that question if he has already had this kind of thinking, if he has already prayerfully discerned, for me, even if it kills me, and that's what it did, you are the Christ. You can only answer that question if you've already recognized that if I say this, I have to commit to him. How can I say you are the Christ, you are God, you are God's anointed one? How can I say that to him and then just, how about the weather? I can't say that to him unless I'm willing to fulfill what it means. If he's the Christ, then I'm the one that he's here for, that he's here to save. So Peter's already had this encounter with him before he ever says these words, and we can too. This can be one of those encounters with Jesus that is life-changing for someone when they recognize, if I say that you are the Christ, that I believe that you exist and that you are the Savior, then I must give you my life because I'm in need of a Savior, and you are the only one there is.